when our people use these, we've not ever had to have them make more than 2 offers to get under contract. I know that sounds crazy, but we just know what to do to get people under contract. Would you like to know the secrets to a successful offer? Right now the market's so competitive and buyers are beating their head against a wall trying to figure out how to get under contract. There's just not enough homes on the market. So we're putting together some videos to help you get under contract in a home right now. Last week we started this, and this is our second part that'll kind of cap everything to help you get under contract. If you didn't watch last week, you've got to check it out because you need to know what's happening right now to really understand some of the tactics we're going to talk about today to get you under contract. Because if not, some of the things I'm going to share may sound kind of crazy. So you've got to know what we're talking about mindset-wise and what's going on in the market to use some of these things we're talking about. So let's jump right in. First off is escalation clauses. So these are familiar, you may have heard of them before. We do them a little bit different, but just in case you haven't heard of those, my best expression of how to tell you what an escalation clause is, it's very similar to eBay. You see something you want, you put a bid in, you put what your max bid would be in X number of dollar increments. The bidding ends. If you were up here and someone's down here, you go that $5 on top of whatever your escalation was. Similar to a home, right? If you're at $200,000 purchase price, you go to $220,000. If the next competing offer is at $115,000, then you go that $1,000, $2,000 higher and you get the home. Guys, here's the big difference. Many people are submitting escalation clauses with only $500 escalation amounts. It's just not enough to distinguish yourself from the previous offer. That may sound crazy because $500 is not nothing. But when you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars that sellers are making on the sale of their home, $500 from one offer to the next is not enough to distinguish yourself from some of the other details of the offer that you may be losing out on. So here's what we suggest. We suggest $2,000 increments. Now you might think, well, I just want to put free money on the table, but that extra $1,500 in that escalation distinguishes you from some other terms in the offer. That $2,000 is a lot more to think about for a seller than $500. It's a big deal. Consider it. That $1,500 difference from $500 to $2,000, it's only about $15 a month. It's not a lot of money, so it's probably even less than that, right? But $15 a month, think about that, for you to get in the home that you want. It's totally worth it. When you can break it down into terms like that, it makes a lot of sense. The other key with escalation clauses, make sure you see the competing offer. This seems to make sense, but I can't tell you how many times when we've listed homes for sale, there's that competitive, lots of offers, all the things, right? And the winning offer, that agent doesn't ask me for the competing offer that proves how high they had to go. Now, again, we do things by the book. We're not ever going to cheat anybody out of money. And yet, I know that it happens sometimes out there in the market because I just hear stories. Make sure your agent is asking for a copy of that competing offer, because in the standard verbiage of those escalation clauses, it says you've got to provide proof of that. And so make sure you get that. Don't get so caught up in the emotion of getting under contract that you forget to see the proof of the competing offer. It's a big deal. You're not just throwing away money. All right, the next thing that piggybacks on escalation clauses is an appraisal gap. Appraisal gap, what is that? You're talking about putting money towards any gap in what you've offered and what the home appraises at. You're putting that in the offer as you're making it before a seller accepts another offer. This is huge. This really separates you from a lot of other offers on the table. Now, not everybody has that option because this is going to be cash out of your pocket to fill in some of the gap if the home appraises low. Because look, anybody can put a huge escalation out there, but at some point, the home has to appraise. So appraisal gap is a way to fill in some of the space there and letting the seller know up front, hey, I've got some money to put towards that in case there's a gap. Top offers are going to include anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 in appraisal gap coverage. Now look, anything is better than nothing. So if you only got $1,000 or $2,500, anything you can do to put towards that is going to be better than nothing. But top offers are going to have between $5,000 and $10,000 in appraisal gap coverage. Include that on your offer whenever you can. All right, next I would say skip the review period. Big thing to do here, skip the review period. Many homes, when they're hitting the market, listing agents are gonna have their homes sit on the market for a day or two and collect offers and create competition to drive the price higher. So, really smart strategy for listing agents, right? We do that very same thing to make our sellers the most money. But what you want to do is you want to skip that. And there are ways to incentivize sellers to choose your offer before waiting for that review period with all the competition and prices go higher and higher. Here's what you do. When a home that you know is going to go for at least $20,000 or more over asking price, offer $10,000 over right now without any escalation clause needed. If you've seen any kind of history and knowing the homes and what they're selling for, you just know if you have a good agent, right, they'll be able to help you to see, guys, this home's gonna go for $20,000 or more over asking price. So what you do is put in an offer, hey, no escalation needed, take our offer today before the next couple hours, we'll give you $10,000 over asking price. You'll be done with showings. I know you're exhausted from getting your home ready. The listing agent's probably exhausted from getting all the phone calls and emails and texts about everyone asking about the house. Put all of their fears to rest, all their stress away, and give that 10K over asking or whatever number you feel, and let them be done. It works so many times for us. The listing agent's ready to be done, the seller's ready to be done. So if you can kind of hedge your bets a little bit, you're gonna go over asking price, but you're sure it's probably less than what you'd have to go at the review period. It's a win-win situation for everybody all around. So skip the review period. Another thing to consider, do info-only home inspections. Now, quick caveat, if you can get by with no inspection, gosh, that makes your offer so strong because you're removing a contingency from that offer. But we totally understand some people just, in certain homes, just need to have an inspection done. And so in those situations, do an info-only inspection because you're letting the seller know you're not gonna nickel and dime them for little repairs. Every house has things that needs to be done maintenance-wise. And so up front, when you say info-only inspection, you're gonna help the seller to know you're not gonna be asking for any repairs from them. You just wanna know that it's a good home. It's a way you can get an inspection, but also get under contract. Last thing I'll share is be a good person. Build rapport, okay? So, emotions drive so many of the decisions that are made by sellers and listing agents. So, have your agent reach out to the other agent and build rapport. Make a phone call, have a conversation about the home. Ask that agent what kind of things the seller's looking for in the offer, because sometimes there's a closing date that's needed. There's some other details that many agents are not calling and asking about that you can include in your offer to give yourself the edge. Guys, we're looking for anything we can get to be ahead of the competition, and building rapport, having a good connection, just being a happy agent, connecting with someone else, that goes a long way when the listing agent is talking to their seller about which offer to accept. Y'all, I hope this has been super helpful for you guys. These are some of the things that we use with our buyers to get them under contract. In fact, when our people use these, we've not ever had to have them make more than 2 offers to get under contract. I know that sounds crazy, but we just know what to do to get people under contract. And so if you're considering buying or selling a home, my name is Jim Hare, Hare Homes Realty Group with Keller Williams Greater Omaha. We license in Nebraska and Iowa, and really competitive markets. So if you're considering buying, you want some advice on your specific situation, give us a call, give us a text, hit us up on social media, comment below. Or if you're a seller looking to take advantage of some of these things in reverse so that you can make the most money for your home, let us know as well. We'd love to serve you or your family. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you and have an amazing day.